Good afternoon, Fin fans, and welcome back to another episode of AT Fins News. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins' epic collapse 26-20 to the Green Bay Packers. So without further ado, let's just get right into it, shall we? We're going to first start this episode off talking about, of course, Tua Tagovailoa. I cannot understand for the life of me how you can go 9 for 12 in the first half for 200 plus yards and a TD, could have been two, and then come out in the second half and completely shit the bed. That's the only term I can use for it. An epic collapse. He had receivers down the field open and he just sailed them. His first interception he threw. First of all, I don't know why he made the throw because there was 4 defenders all over his receiver. He sails the throw in the hands of their corner. Easy first interception, right? His second interception, I mean, it just can't happen, guys. And then finally, after those 2 back-to-back interceptions, the defense gives him a chance, holds him to a field goal, so it's a 6-point game. Everything is there for Tua in his hands. And what does he do on that third possession? Throws a horrible pass to Mike Gesicki. He had bracketed coverage on that play. Anyone can see that. Any elementary football quarterback could see that was bracket coverage right off the get. And what I don't understand in that play is he's been force-feeding the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle this entire season. Mike Gesicki hasn't got the ball, maybe 20, 25 catches, they said, in the game the whole year. And for you to, in the biggest moment in the game, needing a touchdown to come back after the 2 horrible interceptions on back-to-back drives, and for you, when it matters the most, to decide, let's throw a ball in bracketed coverage to Mike Gesicki instead of force-feeding Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle were both open underneath, wide open. He could have hit either one of them if you go back and look at the film. And he chooses Mike Gesicki and completely hands the Green Bay Packers the game. There's no other way to you can't even stick up for Tua in this performance. How do you go from one half having a pretty excellent, almost perfect first half to in the second half completely just collapsing, giving the game to the Green Bay Packers? I mean, I've seen people on social media talking about how it was our defense's fault. They gave up too many third down conversions. Dude, first of all, kickoff after we kicked a field goal, they go all the way down to damn near the 10-yard line. And our defense, what did they do? They gave up a field goal. Our defense gives Tua the ball. We intercept Aaron Rodgers in I believe the fourth quarter, early fourth quarter. We intercept him. And what does our offense do to pay back our defense? Very next play in possession, Tua throws an interception, his first of the game. So you cannot keep blaming other players for our quarterback's mishaps. He's had a horrible 3 games. He had a so-so game in Buffalo. I actually thought going into these 3-game stretches, because how he played in Buffalo, he regained his confidence. Well, that just went all out the window because this was I thought the Charger game he played and the 49er game he played was horrible. Probably the worst football at the quarterback position I've seen all year from Tua. But this game topped them all. And the reason why it topped them all is because we had the game. I mean, I know the momentum shifted because Raheem Mostert fumbled the ball before halftime. I totally understand that. And that's on Raheem Mostert. I get it. But you can't blame Raheem Mostert for losing this game like some people on Twitter are doing. There is no reason you should blame anyone else but Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel for this loss. Plain and simple. There's nothing that Mike McDaniel even had good play calls, throughout the game. It wasn't his offense of playability. As a head coach, he has to have more control of this team as far as penalties go. We're so undisciplined and we get untimely penalties every single game. And that falls on the head coach. That's why I'm blaming him. Not for his offensive plays. I'm blaming Mike McDaniel for all week we heard that they were going to change the defensive scheme a little bit because it wasn't working. What did they do in this game that make you think like, oh, our defense is changing? The only one thing I seen when we were doing a zero blitz our corners were actually going up and press and doing press coverage instead of playing 10 yards back. I did see that adjustment. But for our special teams to play horrible, continually to miss field goals, continue giving up big plays and when they're receiving the ball and getting them almost a damn near touchdown. For us doing a pooch kick after we scored and giving them the ball at the 50-yard line, that falls on Mike McDaniel, our head coach. But as far as him calling the offense, I had no problem with him calling the offense. You want to know why? There's people bashing him saying, oh, we should have ran the ball more. That's true. Raheem Mostert was having a great game. But a lot of fans forget earlier in the year when it was 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 and when we were handing the ball off and not getting those and missing those 4th down conversions, what did the fan base all say? Why did we take the ball out of Tua's hands, right? So why is it now that Mike McDaniel is doing what you guys wanted earlier in the year and it's not working? You're blaming it. Oh, we should have ran the ball. I get it. I'm with you guys on that. I think there is certain times in the game where he should run the ball. But, I mean, he's just doing what he knows best. His passing game, he has faith in this offense. He has faith in Tua, like he's always said. Even coming in here, having to show him a 700-play montage to prove that he's good enough. He wants to do what he is most comfortable with, and that's passing the ball. So I know he did finally stray away from it. In this game, it was 4th and 1. He handed off to Mostert and what we picked it up. But for our fan base to go after Mike McDaniel and say he didn't adjust or he should just run the ball, I mean, where were you guys whenever he was running the ball and we weren't getting it? And you guys were complaining that we should give it into his hands. So he's just doing what he knows best, guys. He's a quarterback-minded coach. He does like to run, but in this offense, you've seen it all year. He does not like sticking to the run. Even when we are running the ball, it all goes back to Tua. He's out to make a point that he is the reason why Tua is succeeding, or he's helping Tua grow. That's what this whole year was about, right? To see how Tua grows throughout the year with an offensive-minded coach, and that's what he's trying to put on the field, in my opinion. Again, I could be wrong, but that's how I feel his game plans are. Even if our rushing attack's working, he's always trying to get Tua involved. And I don't think it's a bad thing, because if you really think about it, Tua's a rhythmic passer. He needs to get in rhythm. He can't hand the ball off 2 times and expect us to pick up a huge 3rd down. That's just not how he plays the quarterback position. He needs to get in rhythm. He needs to get his timing down with his receivers. And that's how he kind of picks up his yards and plays consistent throughout the game if he gets in that rhythm early. But the last few games you see him, he's not in rhythm. This was the game against the Packers why it kind of baffled me. He was in rhythm. He got going relatively quickly. And for him, it seemed like he was feeling himself a little bit in the beginning, but you seen it right away. Once that first interception happened, when he threw it, like he abandoned ship or something. He just lost how to play the quarterback position in the most important time of the game, in the most crucial time of the season. Now, this is a trend, guys. It's happened for 3 straight years that in the biggest moments, our team falls off short in December and January games when we need it the most. We can beat the mediocre teams, but when it comes to playing a good football team, a team that has game plan for you, specifically for your offense, we cannot come through. And as a fan base, we should be sick of it. I'm sick of it. I can't stand getting your hopes up each year, every year, thinking, oh, this year's different. We started 8-3. What was everyone saying? This team's built different. And for them to do the same exact thing they've done every year for 20-plus years, I mean, it's time for a change. If we do not make the playoffs with the talent that the Miami Dolphins have on this team, not even make the playoffs. If we win out the next 2 games, we're only going to have a 1-game better record than last year with Brian Flores, and we got rid of Brian Flores. With the amount of talent this football team has, with Tyreek Hill, Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, the list goes all on and on. Jalen Waddle. I mean, for us to only maybe come out of this season 10-7, it's pathetic, guys. And it's from the top down. Stephen Ross, Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa, be better. You guys have to be better. Because as fans, we should be sick and tired of the same thing happening year in and year out. But I mean, guys, as down as I am right now, I get it. There's 2 more games left. We'll start talking about the New England game as it gets closer. It's only Monday. It's just kind of the time to vent and get everything off your chest from how pathetic of a showing that was for the Miami Dolphins on Christmas Day. I was going into that game thinking there was no way we could lose this game. I felt our defense matches up with their offense well, and our offense should have no problem against their defense. We should be able to run the ball on them. They play a lot of zone. Tua eats up zone. And for us to go on Christmas Day, the time of joy, and in the first half, almost being up 17, right? And then Mostert fumbles, they get the field goal, and then they come back in the second half and third quarter score to tie the game 20-20. But still, after those mistakes, to have 20 points in the first half, and for your offense and an offensive-minded head coach to blank in the third and fourth quarter when it matters most, when the team needs it. If we win this game, we're 99% locked to make the playoffs this year. And for you guys to shit the bed the way you did, the only word to use is an epic collapse. You guys choked. You guys collapsed. The moment was too big for the quarterback, was too big maybe for the head coach. And that's all you can really say about that. But there's still 2 more games. Like I said, they have to win both. I mean, they can win one depending on what the Jets do next week. But even if they back into the playoffs and not playing well, what's going to happen? All they're going to do is go and play the Chiefs, the Bengals, or the Bills, and I mean, get stomped on the way they're playing right now. You can't, as a Dolphin fan, honestly say you think they can go into Kansas City, Buffalo, or the Bengals and even put up a game in the playoffs. The way this team is playing right now, the way this team showed up on Christmas Day and shit the bed, there's no way as a fan you can honestly, in your eyes, think they can go in there and pull off an upset to one of those 3 teams as of right now. Maybe if they play really good football and actually play complimentary football for 4 quarters, because we've yet to see a full complete game from this team. Maybe they put 8 good quarters together and they blow out the Patriots or blow out the Jets and your hopes are back up. But right now, as a fan, you cannot, in your heart of heart, think they can go there and beat any one of those 3 teams right now the way they're playing. And but enough about the next 2 games. I mean, what just broke about an hour ago. Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, I know I've been really critical of him today. It was just a bad performance, man. I'm sick of him. The Bills game, he played good. But then the 49ers and Chargers, just at the end of the year, he hasn't played good football, and it came to a head this Sunday. So that's why I was so critical of him. But now to find out he's in concussion protocol. Guys, if he's I guess he told the doctor today that he had some symptoms, so that's why he's in concussion protocol. But if he does have a concussion, in fact, that'll be either his second or third concussion of the season. Some people will say 2, some people will say 3. Whatever the case may be, if he has multiple concussions, it's highly unlikely that he's going to be playing against the Patriots this Sunday coming up in one of the biggest games of the season for the Miami Dolphins to try to solidify their playoff spot. It'll be another time where our quarterback cannot play because of an injury. Now, this is 3 years in a row, guys, that he's been hurt somewhere in the season where he's missed crucial games. And in the back-to-back years, we only missed the playoffs by 1 game. And he missed 3-4 games in both the years. Now this year, he's going to miss maybe 4, maybe 5, depending on how serious. If it is a serious concussion, who knows? We'll let the doctors figure that out. But he's already missed basically 3 games, in my opinion, this year. This could be his 4th, and then if he misses against the Jets, his 5 games. This is a trend as well. He's been even hurt in Alabama. So, I mean, it's kind of on the Dolphins now, guys. What are they going to do as an organization moving forward? How are you going to be able, as of right now, say you want to pay Tua Tagovailoa quarterback money when he's either playing inconsistent in the biggest moments or he's hurt and he can't be there for his team in the biggest moments and we lose and don't make the playoffs again? Because let me tell you something, guys. If the Miami Dolphins, like I said before, with the talent they have on this team and going 8-3, and if they fail to make the playoffs, everyone should be gone. I mean, all hands on deck. I mean, if it's Stephen Ross, I don't think he's firing himself. He already has a succession plan with his daughter. But Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, Tua, some of our better players, they're all gone, in my opinion. They're going to have to just blow this thing up and start over because for us already to only maybe win one more game this year than we did last is pathetic in my eyes, like I've already said. But if they don't get in and win at least a playoff game, everything should be blown up still, in my opinion. I mean, we got to want better as a fan base. We have to want better. I mean, I know we're ride or dies. We stick to with the team, and I will too. I mean, I've been here for 30 plus years. I'm not going anywhere, but we need to want better. We need to hold people accountable. We can't make excuses for this team. They played like crap. They're 0-4 in December. The collapse is real, I guess. The moment's too big for this young team. But maybe they can prove us wrong the next 2 weeks. But like I said, guys, especially with Tua in concussion protocol, and if this is in fact his third concussion in the year, I can't see him playing against the Patriots or even the Jets, in my opinion. I mean, that concussion against the Bengals was serious for the NFL. The NFL, it was a bad look on the NFL. They're not going to want Tua Tagovailoa to go out there if it's questionable if he has another concussion or not. So, who knows? I mean, we'll know more later in the week. But in my opinion, if Tua can't go, I'm done seeing what Teddy Bridgewater has. I've seen it when Tua was out. He doesn't bring that juice, in my opinion. Just see what you have in Skylar Thompson. I know he looked good when the Vikings first drive before he got hurt, but he was thrown in some tough situations when he didn't even have time to really game plan or think he was even going to play in that game because he was the third string quarterback when he first came in, not against the Vikings, but the game prior. So just give him a week to prepare and see what he has, because I do not want to see Teddy Bridgewater out there if Tua cannot play this Sunday. I mean, it's the biggest time it's the biggest time of the year. You might as well get Skylar in these next 2 games to see truly what you have in him. So maybe in the offseason he can fight for a starting spot as a quarterback, or because it's the Miami Dolphins are on the clock now. This organization, they're gonna have to really ask themselves a tough question if Tua Tagovailoa is part of their long-term future based on his continued injuries where he can't be there for his team late in December or January because he's either hurt or he's having inconsistent play. So it's really the Miami Dolphins. They're on the clock right now, guys. But really, that's going to end it for this stream. I just wanted to get on here and kind of vent and tell you guys just how I feel about this loss, because I think even though the Charger loss was really bad, I think this has to go down as our worst loss of the year because of what we were playing for. A 99% chance to make the playoffs if they win, and they completely choked. Same team, different year. That's how I'm going to end this. But, guys, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, if you can please hit that subscribe button just to help grow the channel organically like we have been throughout the season. If you guys can please hit that like button, I really, really appreciate it. It'll give the content to more of the Dolphins community. But other than that, guys, even though it's been a rough 4 weeks, always fins up. I mean, let's see what they can do come New England this Sunday. But other than that, guys, I'm out. Peace.